Blake Lively's space drama with Justin Baldoni. The legal battle continues. So let's talk about this insane space drama. You remember the news about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni making headlines because of the whole legal battle surrounding their space tourism journey? Well, it's not going away anytime soon, and there's more being said online, especially regarding their recent lawsuit updates. Trust me, it's wild. Let's take a quick walk through the timeline of this whole ordeal. It all started during the production of It Ends With Us, a film where Blake Lively was starring and Justin Baldoni was directing. The movie seemed like it would be another sweet project, but behind the scenes, things were brewing. Blake filed a lawsuit against Justin, accusing him of creating a hostile work environment and mishandling intimate scenes during filming without her consent. There were also claims of inappropriate behavior off-camera. After Blake filed her formal complaint, Justin fired back with a $400 million defamation lawsuit, accusing Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist of running a smear campaign against him. Now, just when we thought this whole thing couldn't get messier, we've got a bombshell new update. Apparently, Blake filed a secret lawsuit last year under a shell company named Van Zandt Incorporated. This wasn't public information, and it didn't name any defendants, but it gave Blake's team the ability to subpoena Justin's former publicist's communications. This led to the text messages that were later revealed in the lawsuit, where it was alleged that Justin and his team were talking about plans to destroy Blake. The text messages allegedly contained discussions about how they could bury her, which Blake's legal team argued was part of a coordinated effort to take her down. The use of Van Zandt Incorporated has raised serious questions. Blake's team defends it as a legitimate legal tactic, but Justin's lawyer is calling it an abuse of the legal process. According to Brian Friedman, Justin's attorney, the lawsuit filed under Van Zandt Incorporated was designed to get subpoena power without oversight, which makes it harder for Justin to contest the nature and scope of the subpoenas. Things are getting real dirty in this legal back and forth. However, despite all this legal drama, Blake Lively's recent Time 100 recognition might have been her way of trying to redeem her image amidst everything going on. Sherilyn Ifill, who wrote Blake's blurb for the Time 100, praised her for her commitment to important causes and her efforts to understand and address the most critical issues facing the country. It's worth noting, though, that some have suggested this is all part of a strategy to clean up her image amid the lawsuit drama. Katy Perry's space tour regrets. Now, let's talk about Katy Perry because she's also embroiled in her own space drama, and it seems like things are shifting for her, too. Recently, Katy Perry, along with Gayle King, went on a space tourism flight with Blue Origin, and the reactions to it were, let's just say, less than stellar. The Blue Origin flight, which featured an all-female crew, was hailed as a milestone in space exploration. Katy Perry performed What a Wonderful World, held up a daisy in tribute to her daughter, and even promoted her upcoming tour on the flight. However, the whole spectacle didn't sit well with many people online, who accused Katy and the crew of turning this trip into a superficial publicity stunt. People were quick to criticize the environmental impact of space tourism, especially with so many struggling economically. Some even compared it to the Hunger Games, calling it a representation of the 1% using their wealth for personal enjoyment while the rest of the world faces economic hardship. Olivia Munn and Emily Ratajkowski were particularly vocal about their dissatisfaction with the trip. Olivia Munn called it gluttonous, questioning the value of the trip beyond just a fun ride for the wealthy. Emily Ratajkowski echoed similar sentiments, pointing out that the trip didn't contribute to meaningful progress but was merely about luxury and exploitation. She slammed the idea that this kind of space tourism is marketed as progress when it was more about wealthy elites enjoying their privilege. While Gayle King has defended the flight, claiming it wasn't as superficial as critics believe, and that it's part of a broader mission to make space accessible for everyone, many still believe that the crew's actions were more about showing off their wealth than actually doing something groundbreaking. As for Katy Perry, it looks like she's starting to regret how the whole thing was marketed. Insiders revealed that she regrets making a spectacle out of the event, specifically the moments when she kissed the ground after landing, promoted her setlist, and sang in space. Her regret comes from the fact that she feels like the trip was marketed poorly and made to look like a monumental achievement when it was essentially just a brief space tour for the rich. Gayle King defended the flight, arguing that no one's calling out the men who have gone to space for similar reasons. But critics insist it's not about gender. It's the fact that this all-female crew made it seem like they were doing something innovative, when it was really just a glorified ride for the wealthy. Conclusion. This entire saga of Blake Lively's legal battle, Katy Perry's space tourism, and the controversial reactions surrounding it has been one of the most bizarre and drama-filled months. Both Blake Lively and Katy Perry have found themselves at the center of heated discussions about privilege, publicity stunts, and environmental concerns. And honestly, it feels like this drama is far from over. People are divided on whether these moves are genuinely about progress and empowerment or just more entertainment for the elites. But hey, it's always fun to keep up with celebrity drama, right? What do you think about Blake Lively's secret lawsuit and her image recovery with the Time 100? How do you feel about Katy Perry's space journey, especially with all the backlash? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.